and will show you what a croquis is. So I don't know how, I will just share croquis is. So here on the right hand side of this particular image, you can see a complete illustration. You can see the garment, you can see the handbag, right? You can see all the details and all, right? At the same time, on the left hand side, it is just a blank image. It's just a pencil sketch, right? It's just a pencil sketch. 1 minute. About a figure. So this is what a croquis is. A basic human structure on which we will be doing our illustration, drawings, our designing. So this is what a croquis is. Okay. About which we will be doing our garment design sketches. Now you know what a croquis is, right? So a basic human, a normal human being, a normal human structure, we can actually divide as our actual height. It's actually 8 head. So there will be 8 heads. If we calculate properly, there will be 8 head. Like so if you are 5 feet, if you are 5 feet, or if you are 6 feet or 7 feet, there will be proper 8 heads. Raina, Anna, you're supposed to keep, not Raina, Anna, Sana, I'm not able to see Sharon, you're supposed to keep your videos on. Okay, so our head is not circular shape, it is actually an oval shape, right? But I don't know whether we have an oval shape here. So I will just use whatever it is. So actually we can just like this, we can arrange 8 heads. Okay, and there is 12 head figures are there, 16 head figures are there. When it comes to fashion figures or illustration or croquis, 12 head figures are there, 8 head figures are there. Below 8, 6 head and 4 head figures we use for children's illustration. Okay, children's wear and all. So 8 head is what we are right now. Okay, so 10 head, 12 head and all, it's a little bit of modernized figures. Okay, it's a little bit of modernized figures, but what an actual human figure is an 8 head figure. Okay, it's an 8 head figure. So we can just, if we divide, there will be 1 head here, 1 head here, like this. Okay. So that is how our body is arranged. So a total of 8 heads long vertically, and both shoulder, 1 head, like that. When it comes to waist and all, the measurements varies. So that is a head figure. So apart from this, apart from the block method that we use for pattern making, we use blocks to develop patterns. Apart from that, just like how we said, we can just divide our human body, like we can like proportionate it like 8 heads, 8 head vertically and 2 on both sides, like that. It's a proportion. How a human body is created. It's a proportion. So based on that calculation also, based on these proportions and everything, humans used to develop what? Garments or patterns. They used this method also. at the very early stage, but it didn't came out very accurately. Why? Why it wasn't accurate? Why it wasn't perfect? When we develop a pattern, measurements are very, very important. Why measurements are very important? Why measurements are very important? Size varies. So the size Meghna might be using will not be the one Sharon prefers, right? Or the one that fits her. So it will be entirely different. And like that, it goes on. The list goes on. And the type of Indian body shapes is different from the one in UK, right? And just like the geographical areas and all, the size also differs. The different types of size categories available in a particular region, that also differs. So this 8-head method, or this based on this pattern development based on body proportion, it wasn't that accurate or useful or precise. And the most common method, or the normally used or generally used method right now, is block method, or development of pattern from a block. Okay, development of pattern from a block. Which are the two different types of pattern making methods, techniques actually? Pattern making techniques, two pattern making techniques. Which are the two pattern making techniques? Which are the two pattern making techniques? We learned one, we had a brief discussion about the other when we were discussing this chapter. Which are the two pattern making techniques? One is a flat pattern method, and the second one is draping method. First one is flat pattern method, and the second one is draping method. What are the two things which is really important when it comes to pattern making? What are you supposed to know before developing a pattern? One, you're supposed to have measurements. Without measurement, you will not be able to develop the pattern, right? So now all set, you took all the measurements that is needed for developing a basic bodies. Now you're all set. You do have the tools. You do have the paper. Now what you are supposed to know? You're supposed to know the methods, the technique. How you're supposed, what you're supposed to draw first. Where you're supposed to mark your shoulder line. Where you're supposed to mark this measurement, that measurement. You will be having a whole bunch of measurements, right? You will be having the center front measurement, you will be having the full length, you will be having shoulder line, you will be having the neck depth, neck width, everything. Shoulder slope, bust points, chest around, bust around, waist around. Like that, you will be having a whole bunch of measurements. So you're supposed to know where you're supposed to mark all these measurements, right? Otherwise, it will not become a pattern. It will become something else, right? You're supposed to know how you're supposed to develop a basic bodice pattern, or a basic skirt pattern, or a basic sleeve pattern, where you're supposed to put these measurements, mark these measurements, and how you're supposed to join all these points, right? Then only you can develop a pattern successfully. So what is a block? What is a block? What is a block? Yes, Meghna?
The basic set of patterns.
A basic set of patterns without all the basic general information, right? So what is a pattern then? So what is a pattern? Using block, we develop pattern. We use blocks to develop pattern. And blocks will not be having all those general information. So what is a pattern? What is a pattern? So a person, a brand will not be having, they will not keep blocks of all sizes. Okay. So maybe he or she will just develop a small size or a medium size block, using which, based on the necessities, he or she will develop small size, extra small size, large, extra large patterns using this medium size block. He or she can develop, right? So the process of developing, the process of developing patterns of different sizes using a single size is called grading. The process of developing other size patterns using a single size is called grading. So if you are just having a medium size block and the process of developing small, extra small, large, extra large patterns using this medium size pattern is called grading. Okay. The process is called grading. What all things will be there on a pattern? It will be having notch marks, it will be having dot lines, it will be having center friend marking, grain line, seam elements, and all the general information, including style number, how many pieces to be cut, and all. So all the general informations will be there on a pattern. So that is the difference between a block and a pattern. Now, so what is a draping method? So now we know what is a flat pattern method. What is draping method? So in flat pattern method, we will just take all the required measurements and then we will mark everything on a piece of paper and then we will join all the points and then we will turn it into a pattern. What about draping method? How draping is done? How draping is done?
Just drape directly on a dress form.
Yes, a piece of paper, fabric will be draped or wrapped around a dress form. And we will mark all the necessary points and we will just drape it, right? So that's how it is. Now we are going to discuss about a common terminology, few of the common terminologies that we will came across while developing a pattern. Okay, while developing a pattern. So now we are going to discuss all those common terminologies related to pattern making. Yes, so first one we know what is a block, what is a pattern. So block is a term given to a very basic set of pattern pieces used to make additional patterns of any styles. What is a pattern? Pattern is developed from the block that includes all the information needed for cutting and production of the garment, including seam elements. So all the general informations will be there on the pattern. What is a seam elements? What is mean by seam elements? What is seam elements? What is mean by seam elements? Just tell me what is seam elements. So the major difference between a block and a pattern is that a pattern has seam elements. So what is a seam elements? What is seam allowance? What is seam allowance? What is seam allowance? Tell me what is meant by seam allowance. Just tell me what you understand. What is your definition for it? You don't have to give me the textbook or the Google ones. Just tell me what you understand. Just give me your definition for it. Seam allowance.
It's the area between the edge of the fabric and the line of the stitches.
Yes, stitches. It is the distance between edge of the fabric and seam line. Seam line. So, when it comes to a pattern, when it comes to a pattern, the bottom part of your dress, okay, the bottom part or which is facing your, which is parallel to your knee line and all. So the bottom part, the hem region of your dress. So at that region, the seam allowance will be 2 inches because you will be folding the fabric twice. You will be folding it twice inside and then you will be stitching it. So at the hem region, the seam allowance will be 2 inches. Okay. At the hem region, the seam allowance will be 2 inches. Whereas at the neckline region, the at the side seam, the seam allowance will be 1 inch, as well as the arm sleeve region also. The seam allowance will be 1 inch. Okay, there the seam allowance will be side seam 1 inch. What about the armhole? It's 1/4 inch. Armhole, this is the most curvy region of our body, because of which the seam allowance will be just 1/4 inches at armhole region. Okay, what about neckline? It's 1/2 inches. Okay, it's 1/2 inches. And we will put slits on the most curvy region. If it is a V shape or if it is a circle, then we will just put slits on both these sides in order to avoid puckering. Okay, so yes, so seam allowance. Hem region, it's 2 inches, side seam, 1 inches, armhole,
1/4 inches.
neckline,
1/2 inches.
1/2 inches. That is how seam allowance is being divided. And hem region, it is 2 inches. You know why. So the extra or the excess fabric that we leave inside to create a perfect stitch, or the distance between the seam line or the stitch line or seam line or the edge of your fabric. That is what seam allowance is. And this is how you're supposed to give your seam allowance. Okay. Now, what is a muslin? So muslin is a very important thing when it comes to, muslin is a very important thing when it comes to prototyping, when it comes to draping method of pattern making. So if it is a draping method of pattern making, then when it comes to prototyping also, muslin is very important for a designer. So what is muslin? You might have heard this word a lot when we were discussing this particular chapter. So muslin, what is muslin?
Unbleached cotton.
Yes, unbleached plain woven cotton. So plain weave is basically basket weave. Okay, so unbleached plain woven cotton. That is what a muslin is. A muslin fabric will be having a beige shade or an off-white, you can call it. It will be having a beige or a yellowish appearance, not the white one. Okay, so the normal or the original color of cotton fabrics or cotton is beige shade or an off-white or a yellowish shade, not the pure white that you get to see. It's a bleached version. Okay, it's a bleached cotton or a bleached version of cotton. So the unbleached plain woven cotton is what a muslin is. Okay, that is what a muslin is. What about grain line? What about grain line? What about grain line?
The direction in which the pattern should keep.
Yes, the direction in which the pattern are supposed to be kept on the fabric, and it is also the fabric direction, right? Yes. So different types of grain lines. Different types of grain lines. It is the direction. So which all are the different directions we are supposed to keep the pattern? Sorry, dear?
Parallel to the selvage.
Parallel to the selvage. Yes, that is straight grain line. Okay, parallel to the selvage, one type, that is straight grain line. Perpendicular to the selvage, that is cross grain line. Then diagonal to the grain line, that is bias grain line. Okay, so the first one, parallel to the selvage, that is straight. Second one, perpendicular to the selvage, that is cross, and diagonal to the selvage, that is bias. So just like this, we have three different types of grain lines. When it comes to circular skirts, flared dresses or flared skirts, it is mostly bias or diagonally cut. The paneled one and all, it will be straight cut or cross cut. Okay, so different types of grain line. Which are the two different types of pattern making method? Two different types of pattern making method.
Draped and flat pattern.
Draping and flat pattern method, right? Three different types of grain lines: straight, cross, and bias. Yes. What is a dart? What is a dart? What is a dart? What is a dart?
The triangular shape in the pattern.
The triangular shape in the pattern, which will be pointing towards the bust point or the apex. That is what a dart is. It provides shape to our garment. As our body is full of curves and all, it just helps the pattern to be perfect and curvy, right? So the triangular shape or the wedge shape, which is pointing towards the bust point or apex, that is what a dart is. Which controls the fit of the garment. Yes. So what is a balance mark? What is a balance mark? 1 minute. What is a balance mark? You will be having your front pattern, you will be having your back pattern, right? And both of the patterns will be having seam allowance, right? Both of the patterns will be having seam allowance, it will be having dot, it will be having necklines, it will be having neckline seam allowance, armhole seam allowance, shoulder seam allowance, like that. A lot of things will be there, right? So after transferring, after keeping this particular pattern on a piece of fabric, then you will cut it out, right? And how you're supposed to know, yes, this is my seam allowance, this is through which I'm supposed to stitch. So we will put small markings. Using a scissor, we will make small markings on the piece of fabric in such a way that it will not interrupt our design or final stitches. So that is what a match mark is. It will just help us to match both the patterns together, both the pieces together, and it will help us to understand that, yes, this is where I'm supposed to stitch. This is my seam line. So that is what a match mark is all about. Now, I will just share my screen. I know you guys are having this note that I shared with you. The screen is visible, right? Yes. Now, after analyzing this particular image that is there on the screen, tell me what all measurements are required for developing a basic bodice pattern. Tell me what all measurements are required for developing a basic bodice pattern. Anna? You are on mute right now. Just tell me whatever you know.
Shoulder length.
Shoulder line?
Yeah. Sleeve. Neckline.
Neckline? Neck depth actually. Bust around, as you can see, bust around. Then above the bust region, that is chest around. Above the bust, that is chest around. Then shoulder slope. From here, from shoulder tip to center front at the waist. So shoulder slope. Bust depth. Bust depth. Like this. Bust depth, which will help us to find the bust point or apex. Then we need waist around. Armhole around. Right? We need all these measurements. When it comes to basic bodies, front basic bodies, the dart will be 3 by 4 inches or 1 inch. The dart will be of 3 by 4 inches or 1 inch. So how are we supposed to find the hip region? How can we find the hip region or the hip depth? So from the waistline, it is 7 inches down. That is hip. So this is the waist. This is the hip mark. So the distance is 7 inches. What about abdomen? It's 4 inches. So what all measurements are required for developing a skirt pattern? What all measurements are required for developing skirt pattern? Waist around is required, full length is required. Right. Hip depth is required. We just need to join all these points. So basically, developing a skirt pattern is really easy. So what about sleeve? What all measurements are required for developing sleeve pattern? Arm around, armhole. Armhole is required. Calf. Cap height is required. Then bicep circumference is required. Full length is required. Wrist around is required. Then you are supposed to join all these points together using armhole curls, French curls and all. You're supposed to shape it, right? We know how to develop a sleeve pattern. We will revise it later, how to develop patterns. Now we are just discussing about the terms, just discussing about the basic measurements that are required. Any doubts? So when it comes to developing trouser patterns or pant patterns, we will need crotch depth. Crotch depth is required, knee around is required, ankle around is required, thigh around is required. All these things are needed for developing trouser pattern. Okay, crotch depth, that is what is important. Crotch depth is required, thigh around, calf around, knee around, all these things are required. When it comes to trousers or pants. Any doubts? Any doubts? It is all about measurements. So here you can see crotch depth, crotch length, waist, hip region, and all. So we are done with all the important terminologies and all. Now it's all about pattern making, methods and all, which we will discuss in the next class. Okay, which we will discuss in the next class. I want you all to come prepared. Revise the pattern making method so that we can have a discussion, so that we can complete the revision as soon as possible and we can start discussing on the preparatory questions and all. So that I want you guys to come prepared. Okay, just revise the pattern making methods and all. If you have any doubts, you can just ask me. I will be explaining it again. No worries. Okay. Any doubts? Any doubts regarding whatever we discussed right now? Terminologies, and all. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay then. Then let's just wind up today's session. I want you guys to send